RetroDaze.
Something occurred to me recently as we were recording a video. It had to do with the nature of childhood happiness and how much of it rested squarely upon the shoulders of anticipation. Whether you liked it or not, you had to wait for most of the good things in life. Even as a kid, your birthday, the holidays, summer vacation, everything seemed to be perpetually on the horizon. The video that caused this reflective epiphany was about mail-away offers, and specifically a line in the script about how I sometimes enjoyed having to wait for packages to arrive. Unlike today, with incalculable roads to instant gratification, the 70s, 80s, and 90s often required patience. But that patience was always rewarded. Today's video again finds our childhood selves waiting patiently for something. Only this time, there's an added weight of anxiety. The nervousness that comes from the fact that we had entered a contest, and we were waiting to find out if we had won. Well, let's not keep our younger selves waiting too long, otherwise they might burst like overfilled balloons. Now and then, as we flipped through our favorite magazines or watched our favorite block of shows on television, we'd be presented with an alluring advertisement promising not only prizes, but glory.
Scientific principles of what it's like in Australia.
When it's winter here, it's summer there. And when it's summer there, it's winter here.
Are you crazy?
Nope, I'm serious.
He's Yahoo serious. The star of a wild new Australian movie, Young Einstein. Yahoo? That's exactly what I said. Yahoo!
Nickelodeon is flying 8 grand prize winners and their 3 guests upside down under to Tasmania. Spend your vacation in the amazing country where Young Einstein was filmed.
Young Einstein country, Tasmanian devils, kangaroos, it's a wild place.
You can't be serious. Exactly. It's Nickelodeon's You Can't Be Serious contest.
To enter, just send a postcard to Nick's You Can't Be Serious contest. P.O. Box 16088, Smithtown, New York, 11788. Include your name, address, age, and phone number.
From the place where only kids win, Nickelodeon! Yahoo!
That's me.
Sometimes all you had to do was fill out a postcard and send it through the mail. Other times, you were required to draw or write something that would be judged against other entries. The contests that actually required you to create something were always the most fun and managed to take what would have otherwise been classified as a simple giveaway to something more prestigious. No matter if the sweepstakes required a phone call, postcard entry, or a judge submission, I was always first in line for the chance to win. And why not? As long as you entered, you just never knew when a grand prize package of mind-boggling proportions might be winging its way to your front door.
Picture this. Nickelodeon takes over your school and puts you in charge.
You bust in a bunch of Nick stars.
Yeah.
You give the old classroom a little class.
And you turn your gym into Nickelodeon guts.
Sound good?
Yeah! Good!
Then put yourself in the picture by entering the Nick Takes Over Your School Sweepstakes. Just send a postcard with your name, age, address, and phone number to Nick Takes Over Your School Sweepstakes, P.O. Box 4914, Orlando, Florida, 32802. 500 runners-up will win a Micro Machine Star Wars action fleet and a Sky Dancer. And if you win the grand prize, Nick takes over your school. Get the picture?
You snatch up the school uniform.
You throw a concert with a hot
And you give your teachers a little something special.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
The Nick Takes Over Your School Sweepstakes is brought to you by Twix Cookie Bar, Micro Machine Star Wars Action Fleet, and the place where only kids win.
Nickelodeon!
Nickelodeon, the place where only kids win, was one of the best television stations to find a plethora of sweepstakes and contests in the 80s and 90s. They had the infamous Nick Takes Over Your School Sweepstakes, the Super Toy Run Contest, Nick or Treat, Slime Time, the Ultimate Room Sweepstakes, Total Panic Rock Contest, and many more. In fact, our intrepid staff writer happens to have entered and won a Nickelodeon contest in the way back year of 1993.
I'm writing my what I don't want for Christmas list. Please don't give me any underwear or humidifiers or oven mitts or canned hams or stationery with rainbows on it. Oh, it's hickory smokes too. Nobody knows the pain, the heartbreak, Can't anybody give me what I want for Christmas?
Only one place, kid. Nickelodeon. We're taking all your Christmas wishes and stuffing them into one big sock. Not that one, this one. 1,000 kids will win a Christmas stocking filled with great Nick stuff, plus a sun-kissed orange foam ball, a surprise toy, and more. So instead of writing one of these, write one of these.
Tony relayed to me that Nickelodeon's Stocking Stuffer Sweepstakes was his most memorable win, and certainly the biggest prize pack he'd ever scored as a kid. He doesn't remember if this was part of the submission process or just something he decided to do in order to make the postcard more visible, but he drew pictures all over it. His memory is specifically of sitting in his junior high lunchroom and sketching Ren and Stimpy onto the postcard using colored pencils to add additional flair. His one regret is that he doesn't have that darn postcard, having sent it off in the mail. Still, sometime later he received a letter informing him that he had won one of the 1,000 grand prizes. His excitement exploded from him like a shaken soda. A grand prize! Never mind that there were 1,000 winners, he had won. And yes, he still has all the prizes, even the Beethoven VHS tape, though he didn't dig it out for the picture. Surprisingly, this wasn't Tony's only sweepstakes win.
How'd you like to win the Ultimate X-Men contest?
I do not believe it.
Well, believe it, because here's your chance to win not only all 12 X-Men home videos and a Marvel comic, but also your own real-life X-Men arcade game.
How about a game of one-on-one?
Sure. Now you can play the full-size X-Men arcade game without ever leaving home.
I'll teach you to invade my universe.
There's more. 250 others will win their own complete X-Men home video library and a Marvel comic. To enter, send a postcard with your name and address to Fox X-Men Home Video Madness, P.O. Box 230, Los Angeles 90078. Hurry, entries must be in by June 29th or...
all bets are off.
The first giveaway he remembers ever winning was an X-Men sweepstakes on Fox Kids, like the previous video, but not that exact giveaway. He knows this because he won 2 X-Men figures which aren't advertised in that commercial. Another sweepstakes he won was for a video game called Zardion that had been advertised in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle magazine. Zardion was a Super Nintendo game that came out in 1992, so this giveaway was likely part of the promotion leading up to release. This prize was actually more of a contest and less of a sweepstakes because it required not only a postcard, but an attempted guess as to how many pieces it took to build the Zardion cyborg. He must have gotten pretty close because he won third prize. Although he no longer has the shirt, he still has this terrible picture to remember both the apparel and how nerdy he looked at 13. Believe it or not, there were actually contests in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that our staff writer didn't enter. Go figure. One such competition was the infamous Masters of the Universe Create a Character contest, which pitted Motu fans against one another to craft the next hero or villain of the series. The contest was advertised in the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe magazine and other newspapers in 1985, offering a gift for every entry and the chance to have their design become an action figure. After the initial entries were received, 5 finalists were revealed, giving readers a chance to call in and vote for their favorite character. Among the final 5, there was Fearless Photog, Netta, Compactor, I-Beam, and Brainwave. With over 40,000 votes, Nathan Bittner's Fearless Photog took home the win. Even though Nathan did receive a scholarship for $100,000 and a 5-day trip to Disneyland, Fearless Photog didn't appear as an action figure, leading to widespread speculation and placing Nathan Bittner at the center of conspiracy theories. In 2012, John Atkin managed to score an interview with the elusive winner, first published as The Legend of Fearless Photog from MotukFigures.com, and bringing an end to the many years of wild theories. Among some of the more exciting bits of information, Bittner revealed his inspiration for the character and how he had traced the head of Photog from a National Geographic magazine. He also shared memories from his trip to California, where he was given the honor of acting as president for the day at Mattel. The Fearless Photog action figure was finally released in 2011 as part of the Motu 30th anniversary line. Okay, so listen. It's true that Tony, the writer, did not enter the previously discussed contest. But as it turns out, Tony, the producer, did. Not only that, but the whole Nathan Bittner saga was the impetus for a story idea that he pitched to, you guessed it, Tony the writer. You see where this is going? After months of discussion, research, and writing, in 2022, the two Tonys released their novel, Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions, which follows 11-year-old Tommy Grant's whirlwind coming-of-age adventure of righting wrongs, overcoming perilous obstacles, confronting our inner demons, and challenging the limits of reality. Set in the 1980s and dripping with nostalgia, the novel takes inspiration from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and, of course, the Nathan Bittner story. If you've enjoyed our videos here, then you will love Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions. Okay, excuse me. Sorry, just trying to clear the self-promotion from my throat. Tastes like desperation. Anyhow, moving on to a different kind of contest than our previous entries, and one that I have a particular interest in, we have Activision badges. Unlike the simple send in a postcard sweepstakes or even the contests requiring you to create something, Activision patches were a reward for prowess in the digital landscape.
Do you have ice hockey by Activision?
Think you're ready for it? One of the roughest video games around for your Atari game system? Ready to battle for the puck?
Well...
To inflict fierce body checking? Furious stick checking? Ruthless tripping? You really think you're ready for all that?
I'm ready!
Fine. Cash your charge.
Ice hockey by Activision!
Simply put, most Activision video games released through 1983 had a certain threshold score or goal for the players to strive for. If you happened to achieve the goal, you mailed a photo of your television screen displaying proof of your victory. Weeks or months later, you'd receive a patch and a letter of recognition in the mail commemorating your grand accomplishment. According to Kyle Hilliard for Game Informer, along with the patch in the mail, players also received a letter from Jan Marcella, an Activision employee from the Customer Relations Department whose job title changed depending on the letter you received. The only exception was the letter received if you obtained the appropriate score in Pitfall. In that situation, Pitfall Harry would send players a personalized letter congratulating them on their accomplishment. There were also some games that offered multiple challenges and thus multiple badges. For instance, Robot Tank offered 3 different patches, one for destroying 48 tanks, one for 60, and a final one for 72 tanks. I don't know about you, but I'd certainly welcome a program that offered physical rewards like the Activision patches for contemporary video game achievements. Clearly, not everything was made better by the internet. Case in point, another great source of sweepstakes and contests was Disney Adventures magazine, which began publication in 1990 and ran until 2007. The periodical was, of course, a smorgasbord of Disney properties, but it did often venture outside the realm of its own creations, with some early notable covers featuring the likes of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Wayne and Garth, Michael Jordan, Luke Perry, The Simpsons, and other popular stars and media of the time. Of course, we're here for the contests, and there were plenty to choose from. In the August 1992 issue, there was a music survey contest, which required entrants to answer a few questions for the chance to win a cassette, autographed CD, or party jacket. In that same issue, there were trading cards created from the artwork of kid winners from a past contest. On the backs of the trading cards, they showed the winners and backstories of their characters. Once again, our staff writer has a couple personal pictures for us. One from an issue of Disney Adventures, where he clearly cut out the form to enter the Great European Adventure Sweepstakes, which he informs us he did not win, and another for 101 Dalmatians Sweepstakes that he filled out but never submitted. Perhaps one of the more exciting competitions found within the pages of Disney Adventures was the annual Scary Story Contest. The second annual contest was advertised in the June 1992 issue, stating the winners would be published in that year's Halloween edition, presumably in October. Incredibly, that year's judge was none other than Vincent Price himself. The previous year's judge, Stephen King, well, that was no slouch either. Besides story publication, the grand prize winner also received a trip to Disneyland Park. 10 first place winners won Phantasmic sweatshirts, and 10 second place winners received a Disneyland video. The Stephen King judged winner from 1991, complete with a letter from King, appeared in that October's issue and was entitled Mr. Tillmore. So I think we've established at least 3 important facts during this episode. First, contests and sweepstakes were a huge part of growing up. 2, our staff writer was, and probably still is, obsessed with winning stuff. And 3, we're not above blatantly self-promoting the official novel of RetroDaze, Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions, found wherever fine books are sold. With so many potential contests, sweepstakes, and giveaways promoted throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we just know you must have entered some. So tell us, which did you enter? Did you ever win anything? Are there any epic toy store shopping spree winners in our midst? I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. And if you enjoy our content, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and maybe even activating that ubiquitous notification bell. It really does make a huge difference. Let's meet again next week to celebrate Yesteryear right here on RetroDaze.
Clicky clacky.